Hello. If you're interested in the lesson, you can chat, but we can start the lesson. Interested? You can make a chat so that I start teaching. You are welcome to the lesson. Please, you can start so that we can start dealing with this question. I'm waiting for you. Chat so that I start teaching. There's no chat. Those who are ready, you can tell me if you are ready for us to solve this question. Please. Hello. It's public. So I want us to solve this question. You can indicate to me if you want to see how we can solve this question. You can quickly tell me that we can solve this question just now. Hello. I want those who want to learn this lesson, you tell me so that I can share. I'm ready just now. Are you ready? Tell me. If you want to learn now. Tell me if you are interested to learn now so that I can start. Stoichemistry? Yes, I'm ready. I can teach you now. Can I start now? Can I start now? Okay. I can start now. So here is the question. The following method is used to make crystals of hydrated nickel sulfate. An excess of nickel carbonate was added to 40 cubic centimeters of sulfuric acid. 2 molarity moles per cubic decimeter. The unreacted nickel carbonate was filtered off and the filtrate evaporated to obtain the crystals, as you can see from here. So the first equation they are asking us is actually to calculate the number of moles. Okay, So you not see here that, so they want us to calculate the number of moles of sulfuric acid, which is here. So, which they have already indicated that it is 0. How do they get it? Because they said moles molarity or concentration is equal to the moles divided by the volume. And so we know that the moles, from here we are given the moles of the molarity for sulfuric acid, which is 2. So or the concentration is actually 2 moles per cubic decimeter of sulfuric acid. You can see it here. This is a number of moles. This is molarity, and then the volume is 40 cubic centimeters. So volume is equal to 40 cubic centimeters, which is the same as 40 over 1,000 cubic decimeters of sulfuric acid. This is of sulfuric acid. And therefore, using our formula on top there, we can say moles of sulfuric acid, you make the subject of the formula, it will be equal to the molarity, which is the concentration, multiplied by the volume. And so we can say this is 2 multiplied by 40 over 1,000, which gives us 0.08 moles of sulfuric acid. So you note that this is actually how they calculated this number of moles. So the number of moles of nickel sulfate, so you have gotten here, you have gotten the number of moles of this one. And now you want to get the number of moles. So the number of moles of nickel sulfate that reacted. So you need to write the whole equation. Nickel carbonate reacting with the sulfuric acid, you get, as you can see, if you're nickel sulfate plus carbon dioxide plus water, plus carbon dioxide plus water. So you see that on the balance, this is balanced equation. The balance ratio is actually 1 mole on each of these. It's 1 mole. How do you get the 1 mole? You look at the number which is used to balance each one of these. So each one of these quantities is actually just 1 mole. Because the numbers in front here, you check there, it is actually 1 mole. So meaning that the number of moles, so if you look at this one, it means that the mole ratio of nickel carbonate to sulfuric acid is actually 1 mole to 1 mole. This is sulfuric acid to 1 mole. And you remember here we got 0.08 moles of sulfuric acid. So meaning that even here it's the same. If you want to make this one the subject of us, meaning that you will produce also the same number of moles, which is 0.8 moles of nickel carbonate. So meaning that the number of moles here is the same as that one, 0.8 moles. These are the number of moles that he reacted. So the mass of nickel that he reacted, so the mass, you are aware that moles of nickel carbonate should be equal to mass of nickel carbonate divided the molar mass of nickel carbonate. We have already gotten the moles there, so therefore they are asking us to calculate actually the mass of nickel carbon that reacted. And therefore we can say mass of nickel carbonate that reacted will be equal to the number of moles of nickel carbonate multiplied by the molar mass of nickel carbonate. And so the moles, remember we got 0.08 moles multiplied by the molarity. We are already given here. The molarity is this one, the molar mass, which is the mass of 1 mole, which is this one, 119. So it is 119 moles per gram, grams per mole. This is grams per mole, because you remember they have said that they have said that from here they are saying mass of 1 mole. Okay, so grams per mole, mass of 1 mole. So grams per mole. So this is grams per mole, which is 119 grams per mole. And therefore, the answer that you get here is actually if you use a calculator, you get 9.52 grams of nickel carbonate. So these are the number of, this is the mass that we get here. Okay, and so you want to get unreacted, unreacted. So the last one is unreacted nickel carbonate. So remember they have said here, this is the nickel carbon that reacted is 12. And thus we have gotten the mass to be 9.52 that reacted. And therefore we can actually unreacted mass. Unreacted mass, we get actually 12 grams minus 9.52 grams. Okay, so this gives us actually, if you subtract, it will give you 2.48 grams of nickel carbonate. So this is the one which has not reacted. Okay, so so the mass which is unreacted, this is the one we found here. So the second part of the question, the experiment produced 10.4 grams of hydrated nickel sulfate. This is what you produce here. To produce nickel sulfate hydrated, which is actually 10.4 grams. Calculate the percentage yield. So you remember the nickel that you produced here, this that you produced here is actually in the same ratio, 1:1 with respect to this one, on a balanced equation. This is 1 mole and this is 1 mole on a balanced equation. And therefore, the number of moles that you produce here will still be 0.08 moles. And if you look at the mole ratio again, nickel sulfate to actually hydrated nickel sulfate. So even this one will be 0.8 moles, because here you check on the balanced equation, the mole ratio is the same. So even here, you're going to have the same moles. And therefore, we can say that, as we indicated, nickel sulfate plus the water, you get hydrated nickel sulfate. These are in the same ratio. Mole ratio is the same, 1 mole, 7 moles. And here, this is 1 mole. So remember on the balanced equation. So meaning that this is 0.08 moles, which was produced. Similarly, this one will be 0.08 moles. And so we can now look at the mass that you are going to produce of this hydrated substance. It will be equal to the number of moles multiplied by the molar mass. The molar mass of this hydrated substance. And therefore, it will be 0.08 multiplied by, you remember you are given the molar mass, which is 281 grams per mole. So this is moles, which is 281 grams per mole, which gives us the mass to be actually 22.48 grams of this hydrated substance of nickel sulfate, hydrated nickel sulfate. So this is what you get. And so for you to get the percentage yield, you look at what you were given. You remember we were given that actually 10.4 grams was given. And this is what you have produced. You have produced 22. You have produced these grams. And therefore, percentage yield will be equal to 10.4 grams divided by 22.48. 22.48 grams multiplied by 100. And therefore, the percentage yield that you get is 46.3. So this is how you can solve this question. I know if you want me for another session, I can actually, you can contact me on this number, 260-977-419949. This is the WhatsApp now. Then I can deliver more lessons. So you can see what this question that we have solved. I have many more concept questions that you can solve. Thank you. So any comments? Any comments? Any comments? Any comments? Any comments? Any comments? Comments, please. Where are you following? Comments? Comments? Any comments? Where are you following or you are not following? Any comments? Where are you following the... Where are you following? I was presenting. I'm right, I was presenting. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Before I stop, any questions? Hello? Are you getting me? Any questions? Any questions?